On the agenda, first up will be Ms. Lori Bowman, page 1, item number 5, page 2, 15, and page 10, item number
Can I
14.
do this?
Yeah, it has to be turned on. Turn it on.
Good evening. Upon reviewing the minutes from the last two board meetings, it is apparent that the board and stakeholders are looking at more effective ways to use courtesy of the floor without causing many interruptions and continuous chaos. Excuse me. Presently, courtesy of the floor is offered on every agenda item, page 1, number 5, prior to the meeting. New motions under old or new business, and at the very end of the board meeting, page 11, number 15. Agenda item number 14 on page 10, director's concerns, leaves us, the stakeholders, without any knowledge of what might be addressed, which is not at all transparent, although the board continues to push for transparency. Perhaps some of the director's concerns are not relative to board business at the time, as witnessed at previous board meetings, and should be taken to respective committees for consideration and then brought back to the board as a whole. Another concern brought up by stakeholders is the ability to comment on said motions after board discussion on that motion, as there may be more input on that item from stakeholders prior to the vote. I would suggest the policy committee meet to address this concern and brainstorm ideas of addressing audience input. Proper procedures and protocol still, of course, need to be followed to allow for civil discourse without one or two board members attempting to control the meetings when the president resides, and without interruptions or unwarranted comments. If everyone, from the board to the stakeholders, has the district's best interests at heart, so we can have a positive impact on our community, we will continue to find ways to make our board meetings more productive and respectful. This should give all of us pause for thought. Possibly taking the above suggestions to task can be helpful. Thank you.
Next up will be Bob Bose, item K, and then at the meeting.
Okay, my question, well, my comment is on motion K. It's extremely vague. People that I've spoken to don't understand what it means. I think they do, but I'm not sure I do. It seems to give significant legal powers to the board president. But in policy 011 under the code of conduct, it states individuals have no legal authority outside the meetings of the board and should conduct their relationships with all stakeholders in meeting on this basis. But here it seems that you're overriding that policy and giving, like I said, I think I understand what it means, but it's not at all clear to the stakeholders in the community. And we think that maybe you want to rethink the motion to make it clearer so that we understand what it is you're trying to accomplish with this motion. I personally think it's because there might be time constraints if something should come up. And it can't be addressed prior to the next regular meeting. I mean, that's what special meetings are for, but I've had numerous people question me. I said, I don't know, I didn't write it. So I can guess, but am I guessing correctly, or am I letting my own personal feelings get in the way? I don't know. And I just wish that we would make it clearer, more concise, explain to us what the motion means. Thank you.
Mr. Bradley, item K.
I agree with everything she just said. The only thing I can add is not only is it not within our policy to allow individuals of a board to act as the board, but in this situation, apparently you're trying to allow an individual board member to meet with or authorize consumption of dollars with a solicitor, which is also against the new rules that the board has established, that without board approval of 5 members, do you have a right to incur charges by a solicitor. But if he does make a decision, since he's not allowed without the board approval, when it comes back to the board at the next meeting, according to what this motion was written, and that's like you said, I thought you wrote it, to be honest with you, Larry, I thought you wrote it. So it's so convoluted, but you're saying that the solicitor wrote it. Is that correct? Okay, so, wow. But anyway, so it allows the solicitor to get paid to do a job that you think is okay, and if the board finds out that it's not okay, then we're going to pay the solicitor a second time to undo what he just did. And to me, it's a very self-serving motion. I think it should be reviewed by the policy committee prior to even showing up on the agenda, and it violates so many state laws and board governance and policies to allow an individual to act as the board in the interim of a board meeting. It's wrong. It's not what the public meetings are for.
Thank you, Mr. Radley. We will move on to communications.
Again, I listened to 10 months of wrangling. We've spent thousands of dollars on legal fees, and I've yet to see one value brought to the district or our students from all of this wrangling.
Mr. Lentz?
Can I speak from here?
Oh, get the microphone. Get the microphone.
Okay, as Mr. Kraus said, 10 months of nonsense. I've been sitting here keeping my mouth shut, trying to keep respect somewhat in this school district. I love this school district. I was born and raised here. I graduated from here. A month after I graduated, I was going to spend 4 years in the military. I spent 13 months in Vietnam. I was in the jungles, in the rice paddies, as Mr. Workman was, and I fought those people over there, never realizing 50 years later I'd have to come back and put up with this. You know, it's sad. It's really sad, so I'm going to tell you what I think right now. Okay, start with, I wrote this letter. Nobody wrote it for me that I'd have to stand here and read it. Some on this board try to paint a picture of gloom and doom, when actually it is the opposite. We are seeing our community grow by leaps and bounds. A candy store, bakery, outdoor center on the bypass, St. Luke's on 9th Street, a winery, a Kia building a brand new beautiful building, Dollar Tree, not to mention a hospital being planned in Franklin, along with a KFC and Wendy's coming to 443. Where is the doom and gloom in that? We have Scranton to the north, Allentown to the south. Guess who's in the middle? Lehighton. Hey, and people are recognizing that. Our numbers, I believe, are going up in students. People are moving in, not moving out. I think the last count was 49 houses were purchased as of July 1st in this community, you know, and what really bothers me is people, some who I've known my whole adult life, actually chose to believe nonsense instead of the truth. 5 members of this board and 4 from the previous board, 5 years in a row, no tax increases. Build a beautiful stadium, a new elementary center. We had not one school closed because of mold. Look around at all the other schools. This is a great school district. We have A+ ratings on our teachers and administration. I have no idea why people want to tear this down and bring such negativity to this district. Thank you.
I don't know if it's on.
If it's green, it's on, not push it again.
You know, I usually don't get up here and speak because it's just not my nature, but enough is enough. talk about transparency all the time, but one of the things we got to realize is, I believe one of our folks, Mr. Bradley, and I'm looking in your direction, isn't as transparent as you want as everybody to believe you are. Back 3 years ago with Train. Your company dealt with Train, you were a provider of Train. You had many meetings with Train. Mr. Hill had meetings with Train. Boasted how great Train was. There had to be something going on. Why would you continue to go down the path of train, and not want to look at other alternatives? As a business person, when you desire to go out and bid it competitively, no, you decided to Train. Let's force Train down our throat. Let's go with Train. Well, we did go with Train. We went with McClure and saved over $3 million. Same benefits, same system, same things. So why are we so hooked on Train? You're a provider. What did you have to gain from Train? Are you a provider of Train still? Are you a provider of McClure? I don't know. Why would you as a businessman not want to competitively bid something for a district where you're going to end up paying the bill? Which is completely opposite of what you're doing around here. I mean, it's always, oh, let's go look here to save money. Let's go look there to save money. No, I'm in bed with Train. I just don't understand it. Now, let me congratulate you on one thing. It only took me 10 months. 10 months to figure out that my wife actually works for the district. Wow, what a man. Huh? Start drilling into personal issues. Start going after family. That's perfect. That's perfect. Well, guess who else worked for this district? I did. Summer maintenance worker in the early 1980s. Guess what I did? Ground off red lead paint and such up at the stadium. You know what else I did? I cleaned toilets when there was a custodial strike. I did all that type of work. You know who else worked for the district? My two boys. They actually worked for this district as summer maintenance people. Doing painting, grass cutting, whatever needed to be done. So, if you want to know, just ask me. Don't go drilling and asking Mrs. Wagner about my personal information. And now my final question is, how low will you go? How low will you go to start drilling into people's personal lives? Maybe somebody will start digging into yours and see how much you appreciate it. I just don't understand it. You know, we elected a man. A man? Oh. I thought our differences were really ideological, but now I see it's personal. Thank you.
Mr. Stern, would you like a reply?
No.
Just sit there and smirk.
Okay. That was the last courtesy of the floor. Next regular scheduled meeting is Monday, November 19th at 7 p.m. I'll take a motion and a second to adjourn. Mr. Holland? Ms. Spinelli? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Time 10:11. Thank you for coming, everyone. Sorry it took so long. Meeting's over, Mr. Bradley.